for lack of,
So back to
we
Lake.
can convene this meeting of the engineering committee for February 18th, 2026. Leah, would you take
Bob Russ.
Here.
Mark Smalley.
here?
Francis Freeland.
I'm sorry,
Francis Freeland.
I'm here.
And Bill Grace.
Here.
And then Greg will not be joining us.
He will not. Okay, all right. Any changes to what we have as far as an agenda?
No.
Okay. Oral communications. Anybody from the public join us online? Okay. New business, introductions. You're the new member of the crew.
Is that right? Everyone else has been here? Great.
Everybody else except for
Great.
Greg Roush was here last year, but you don't know them.
Right. Well, I've just met Bill.
Right.
And Francis.
Right.
I'm Bob Russ. I'm a new member on the board of directors, and I'm happy to be here. I really wanted, a year ago, I had applied for both budget and engineering and got on the budget, but I've got a mechanical engineering background. And so
Yeah, I've been to your house.
you look familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying, good God, he lives off of San Lorenzo. Yeah,
Right. On the
Trout
end of
pond.
Manzanita, right?
the trout pond.
The trout pond.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. One of my fire suppression
Trout pond
systems.
Backyard. I mean, it's trout this big.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, they're now pushing 3 feet.
Oh, my God.
They are sharks.
it's a small world, huh?
Yeah.
It's a small world.
Did he know you're at his house when you're at his house?
You know, I'm missing a few trout.
You said
Yeah, that's right. Okay, because I was like, boy, I know I met this
Yeah, the
guy.
name is familiar.
Yeah.
So,
Well, good.
I'll
Okay,
let you
so-
two catch up.
Yeah, later.
Yeah,
Later.
another time.
And at the end of the table,
Yeah.
but introduce yourself to Francis.
Okay, well, my name's Francis Cleveland. I guess I've been here about a year.
Huh?
As I forget the official
As a-
term
As
for
a
it.
committee member.
Yeah, as a committee member, but yeah,
Right.
a public committee
Yes.
member. My background has been in mostly power engineering, not water engineering. So water goes a little slower, but it has other aspects that power does not have. So it's interesting and informative. Plus, I'm trying to provide my background in anything where it makes sense.
That's great. I had worked briefly for a smart grid company out of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Ah,
We worked with utilities putting in distributed stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
distributed energy resource, I'm
Exactly,
sure.
right.
Yes.
Yeah. Microgrids, we designed the microgrid for Apple's
Oh,
campus.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's right down my alley. That's
Super.
what I work
We'll
on.
have to talk.
Okay.
Cool. That's
Mhm.
great, Francis. All right. Very good.
Okay,
Okay.
we can, I think, move on then. To election of officers. Since you know everybody else in the room.
Okay. Well,
And the other two individuals have met everybody else here last year.
okay. So I'm the new
10
kid
or
on the
12
block.
times. Yes, okay.
Yeah, good.
The election of the committee chair. So we need to select the chair and a vice chair. And from reading the board policy manual, the chair has to be a member of the board. So the chair is one of the two of us. It wasn't clear to me, in the board policy manual, that the vice chair has to be, could be.
It doesn't say it explicitly, but I think when
I think
you have
it's
to serve as the
implied.
chair.
Yeah.
It makes sense that you are chair and vice chair, so.
Right. I think it's implied at that. So,
Well, in that case, I would like to nominate you as the chair.
Second. That
Wow, that's
nomination.
fast.
okay.
Are there any objections?
No, I don't object.
You know,
Okay. All right. Francis, do you want to weigh in on that?
No, that's fine.
Okay. All right,
All right.
okay.
Go ahead and vote.
Any public online?
No, I think we already voted.
Okay.
Since these two are saying yes, and I
Okay.
didn't object to. So,
And
or even
No
if I
objection.
did object, I guess.
you're over.
Right, I would be overruled 3-1.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And our go, based on what Jason was telling us earlier, I think you are the vice chair, Director Russ. So,
Okay,
Process of
I
elimination.
accept
okay,
by proclamation. By mob proclamation.
or by process of elimination.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Moving on then. The Brown Act.
Ah,
Who's leading that discussion?
That would be Leah.
Oh, okay.
she's gotten really good at this.
Did an update from last time to make it more suitable for committees.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay. But first, let me preface, why are we talking about this?
So they have made it, or in 2026, we have to do a presentation and give each member of the committee and board a copy of the Brown Act.
I see.
It's just
Okay.
that they refresh.
What's the Brown Act?
It's just making sure we have open, transparent public meetings.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Is it a California law?
Don't throw me off if I say.
We're interfering with her spiel. Okay.
Right. So basically, I just want to welcome everybody and thank you for serving the community. I put together a simple presentation, it's pretty simple, practical, plain language overview, so everyone's confident in following the Brown Act. And I provided copies of the Brown Act for both of you, but that is for you, Francis.
And we're required to have everybody have one of these in,
A physical copy too, and you can no longer have just like digital.
a physical copy. Okay, all right.
So Brown Act fundamentals. The Brown Act is California's open meeting law. It ensures our work happens in with public access. It applies to the board and to standing committees because we meet regularly with a continuing subject matter and jurisdiction. Core principles. Deliberate in public discussions, recommendations occur in open session, not by email or text. We must post clear agendas on time so the public can prepare and participate. And we invite public comment before any action and allow community input as part of the process. And these will be the committee member responsibilities. We serve in an advisory role. We study, discuss, and recommend. The board will make the final decision. We stay within the noticed agenda, support an orderly and respectful meeting. Going to avoid serial meetings. There should be no back and forth among a majority by email, text. We'll ask clarifying questions in public. If an item is not on the agenda, we shall ask staff to schedule it for a future meeting. And then the teleconferencing rules have been updated. For monthly committees, just cause remote participation is limited to 2 uses per year. If using, you have to have reliable audio, video, and you briefly must announce if there's any adults present in the room. Over 18. And then updating teleconferencing standards. Public must be able to attend at a noticed location. Technology should not reduce access. We must document remote participation in the minutes. And if any disruptions occur, we must pause the meeting. Social media compliance. The low threshold for violations online. So you should treat social media with extra caution. We communicate with the public, not with each other, about district business on social platforms. Do not like, comment on, react to, or share another member's post about district business. You may post information publicly or answer public questions without interacting with fellow members. And operational guidance. We have a strong governance. We represent clear process, agenda discipline, timely public comment, and transparent discussion. Our meeting do's and don'ts. Do stay on agenda, invite public comment before action, route new topics through staff for future agendas. Do not hold side discussions or group chats that create a deliberation outside of the meeting. And with that, we want to appreciate your commitment to help and serve the committee. And if you have any questions, we're always here to help.
Okay. Any questions, Francis or Bill?
No, I have no
Okay.
questions.
Okay, I have a couple. Well,
I appreciate this. This is really nice, actually.
Better than
Yes.
the last one, right? Lou?
Yeah, no, it was shorter, but it's also, you really got to the
it's a thing
meat of
and it hits to the point.
Yeah,
of
it
what-
gets to the point of
Yeah.
each thing, which
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to mention something that I kind of learned when I went through this a few days ago, is that what this really means is that if any of us have questions that we want to talk about, you should direct them to the chair. And that way, it's just, if you, Francis, and Mark are talking, you're not a majority of the committee. That's okay. You can't talk about the same topic and bring in other people. So if you want to, for instance, bring something up and discuss it, you can bring it to Mark. I guess probably that's the appropriate route, right? As opposed to Jason.
Yeah.
Through the chair.
And
Right.
are you referring to in this room, in the meeting, or
Outside.
outside?
Outside.
Okay, outside of.
Outside, right, yeah. Because that's really what the
Yeah.
Brown Act's about, right?
Right, yeah, so bringing it to the chair's attention,
Right.
similar to board meetings. Board members should be going through the board president, currently Director Russ, to say, hey, I want to talk about, or what about?
Right.
And we should only be going through him. I'm not contacting other board members at the same time to then form a serial chain of
Yeah.
a potential majority in an attempt to lobbying other folks to say, hey, this is the way I think. Don't you agree?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, just, because that way it's very clean.
Yeah.
Just go to the chair outside of the meetings and
Yeah. If there
it's
is
very
any,
clean.
The idea is to keep those conversations to be in front of the public, so everyone
Right.
can see the discussion that's going
Right.
on.
I do have a couple questions on it. So any ideas on why, if I'm remote, I have to identify why there's other adults in the room?
I believe so they can't place an influence on your decisions. Correct.
That, I have no idea why it says 18 years old, to be honest with you.
That's what.
Because, well, anybody else
Anybody else?
in the room,
Anybody who's 18 or older.
because there's members of the public here in the room who could be influencing that we're allowed to have comments on, but just a curiosity, nothing,
Find out for
Maybe your 18-year-old's whispering in your
nothing,
ear.
nothing. Well, they could be influencing my decision.
Right,
But, and if we had two members here only, can we go ahead with the discussion? It's not a meeting because we don't have a quorum then.
Yeah, you can't make any recommendations to the board.
We can't make recommendations or we can't vote on anything,
Right.
but we could certainly, I would hope, give staff input
You-
to say,
Yeah,
here's what I think.
100%.
Okay,
And that
good.
way, and also the public can know that things are, things are going on.
Right, yeah, so we could proceed with the discussion. Okay, because
What is it?
I have been faced with that before with well, gee, can we have a meeting today? And I just wanted to get that out there to say, yes, we could have a discussion
Yeah.
But it's not the formal commit, and we can't say, well, the committee's opinion is, or the committee is voting to, or recommending that the board do this. Yeah,
So.
Yeah.
At my previous job, we had committees, but it was just board members who were on the committee, so it was just 2 board members on a committee.
Right.
And we ran plenty of committees where there was just a board member on the committee.
right,
So.
right. And I feel that this venue is a good place for staff to vet things in front of 2 board members that are eventually going to be voting on whatever it is, to give input to say, stop so far, because what you're bringing, from my perspective at this point, isn't fully vetted, or go back and think about these other 3 things for this motion before you bring it to the board, so that they get some initial input. But if they get 2 board members here saying, looks good, then the thoughts that they're going to be able to take that to the board level and successfully be able to present it is much higher. So, yep. Just my thought is a means of what it's. I don't know if I'm venturing out of the Brown Act with that last comment, but we're allowed to have committee comments. So any other thoughts on Brown Act?
Well, I don't know if this is Brown Act related, but I live on a private road and we used to have a private water system, which we gave to
Mhm,
SLV.
yeah.
And from time to time, there are topics that come up that affect the outcome of that transmittal. And I'm warned, and I share it with a couple of people on the road. There's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a
No.
fait accompli. It's just
No.
information that I've gathered from
They
this
could
meeting.
have been sitting here in
They
the room.
could have been.
Right.
That's correct.
And if they were here in the room,
They would have heard.
they would have heard it.
Okay.
All you're doing, in my view, is passing on information that was discussed at the meeting
Okay,
to them.
that's what I do.
That was something I was unclear about, is as long as you don't talk to another board member, so you can voice your opinion.
To other individuals who are not related. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Thereby attempting to influence how another board member, since you're already meeting with 2 of us here, might vote on something that then comes in front of the board that's already been discussed here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else? Brown Act question?
One thing I hadn't appreciated that I think I learned last time is, and it makes sense, is that I think that if our, what is it called, Scott? Just the internet connection from the outside, if that goes down, if people can't call in, we can't have a meeting.
I think we can,
We can.
yes.
The meeting, if somebody's attending remotely and that happens, we have to stop the meeting. But
Do you mean if a board member?
if a board member is attending remotely,
Right.
yes.
Well, I even thought that applied if the public, like, if, let's say we have one other
Because they
member of the
still have
public.
access to come in.
Right.
Ah,
And because we went through this discussion
Okay.
about 4 years ago as a board.
oh,
And we were having more frequent power interruptions at the time. And we didn't want to be at the point of, oh, we got another power interruption, so we can't meet tonight because of that. Or we didn't have a power interruption, but we lost our internet connection. So it says, believe it's in the board policy manual, that the internet is for public, convenience,
convenience.
right,
Okay.
as a courtesy to the public. However, the formal meeting is here in the room. If you want to be assured of having that,
Gotcha.
be here.
You have to show up.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Good. Appreciate
Loss of the internet is not reason to stop the meeting.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Unless it's a remotely attending board member.
I don't know on
Well, I say loss of power is gonna cancel the meeting because we're not gonna have a meeting in a dark building.
and we did wrestle with that once.
So they're doing a power conversion here. We had to wait.
Right.
On the meeting. For
And
like half an
we
hour.
got to the point of, it's not safe to be here in the dark.
Right.
So for matters of safety, cancel the meeting. Yeah, right. But
Okay.
power outages in other parts of the valley. Oh, well, a lot of folks from Boulder Creek wanted to be in this meeting because of whatever a topic item was. Oh, well, they've got a power outage on these roads up there. So, do we have no, we go ahead with the meeting. We have power here. We can eat safely here. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Anything else?
That's it.
Brown Act. Okay. Um, informational material. A previous committee meeting minutes? Anybody have a question on that or?
That's mostly for the new gentleman.
Right, that's what I thought. Yeah, okay. Then last, are committee comments. Reserved for general comments from the committee and or for requesting future agenda items. Okay. Well, I have a few, but before I go, since it's the chair and when I was board president, I prefer to go last to not influence where things are, to have undue influence. So, thoughts?
Well, the only thing I was going to ask, and you're probably going to address it, is in general, what would be the kinds of topics that we would address? Just, I know it's the engineering, but I'm not sure how broad or
Mhm.
does that,
Yeah, so staff would propose at the March 18th meeting that we discuss the Peavine raw water line. And we would be able to make a recommendation to the board regarding procurement of material and getting everything lined up for when it stops raining. We can immediately start using material and constructing the Peavine raw water line. Another topic that came up was public education on district projects and how to best communicate with the public. We have some updates to the district standard details. So I think it makes sense to bring the resolution that the board may adopt to update the district standard detail to the engineering committee for any, review comments or typos or anything that you want changed. The prioritization policy and the strategic plan are somewhat related to each other. That could be another topic we could discuss. And we're open to your ideas as well.
Okay.
good, very helpful, thank you.
Okay. And I'll digress back, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, because I participated on this committee as a public member for 2 years before I joined the board. We were going down through the list of here's the 8 projects or 12 projects that we're working on, and here's the status of each one of these projects. And it took up a lot of the meeting to do that. I'm of the opinion that that was a matter of curiosity only for some of the committee members, but it wasn't providing any useful input back to staff on here's what I think you should be doing or guiding it. In the past year or the past 2 years, it's been the more, what I consider the more substantive of here's an issue that we're facing. And the issue is, fill in whatever and we need some initial input from the committee, public on this issue. And what do we do with that? Giving the staff input then on which way to head with things. So that's where I see, and I think the committee's being useful to the district. So that makes.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Okay. So,
Yeah, because we're only together once a month, so you want to take advantage of us. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So, with that, uh, question then, anything else, either comments or future agenda items? Based on what we were seeing or what you were seeing last year, Francis, Bill, were the committees, did you feel that they were effective? Were you able to give effective input onto at least half of the items that we were?
Well, I'd say one thing, which of course, the first part of the year, I was just catching up to speed,
Mhm.
trying to understand what the issues were.
Right.
I would say that one of the questions I had is we would sometimes give input. I'm not sure we always got a response back as to whether you took the input or did change something or how we went about doing something. But, you know, it's a meeting, short meeting once a month, so,
Right.
but
Okay.
Yeah, we could always bring back unfinished business back to the committee with a summary of the changes. That's kind of like the district standard details. We brought that last year.
yeah,
And-
and it came back with a lot of the spreadsheets that showed exactly where things were, and that was very
Oh, yeah,
helpful.
the Gantt
Yeah,
charts.
that
I
was very
appreciated
helpful.
that too,
Oh, yeah, no problem. My pleasure.
because I'm sure that is sometimes volatile and some things may move around, but you had a priority that you presented that was going to be done, you know, in the next 12 months or whatever. And then you had follow-on projects and you had the money and everything. I really appreciated that. I was quite unaware of how many different things you had in the hopper. You had, you know, a lot of projects, very expensive projects. I was also amazed at how expensive some of the water tanks are compared to what my experience has been in my private water system. When we bought a tank or refurbished a tank, we're talking $10,000. You guys are talking millions now. So, I mean, it's orders of magnitude
Yes.
greater. And I do appreciate knowing that. And because I know it's like not simply a matter of, oh yeah, why don't you just do this? You promised you would, or why don't you just finish this up? Well, it's a couple of $1,000,000 is why. And, you know, there's also a thing that I wasn't aware of was all of the many sources of funding that you sometimes have for each project may have a couple of different sort of money pools that are being used to complete it. And that's an issue too that I appreciate knowing about.
Yes, we recently awarded the Highland Tank project, and the tank costs were around $280,000, but the overall contract was $1 million contract.
Yeah.
Okay. If nothing else, I wanted to touch on future agenda topics that I'd like to see covered. Garrett, you mentioned Peavine Pipeline. Before I'm ready as a board member to vote on approving a pipe purchase,
Yeah.
which is going to be significant dollar-wise, I want to see the construction and logistics plan
Okay.
for that.
Yes.
And I think this committee is the perfect venue to start to vet that. Because for the other committee members, Peavine is about a mile of piping.
It's a mile and a half.
Okay, a mile and a half of piping that we need to put in. It was just prior to the CZU fire, HDPE, high density polyethylene, essentially thick wall plastic pipe. We talked We did a significant evaluation, bury that pipe, put it on top of the ground. We've gotten to the point, the board approved it, just put it right back on top of the ground, put plastic pipe back on top of the ground. The means and methods that we're going to do it is something that the district has done once over 40 years ago. How to get that pipe out there. We did it with helicopters, dropping pipe into place, and then crews hand dragging that pipe out to different spots.
What's the diameter?
8 inch.
8 inch.
Right.
They use winches too.
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to see how, in writing, how we're going to do this so that we're forced as staff to put all of this down and let others on the board review this to say, okay, this, or what have you not thought about yet that you need to go think about? We're going to have to think about before we do this. As a former construction manager, I'm used to seeing this on projects that I manage. That's part of the thought process of going, and I want to see that from the district. So that's why I'm asking for that logistics plan. So, because we're not going to go call a contractor to go dig, lay, bury pipe in the ground. This is a different. Are we going to need to use mules?
No,
Are we going to need to use horses?
no.
Okay, all right. But how are we going to drag those lengths? I'm not asking for the answers now.
Director.
Records, yeah.
So,
It's part of our health program. Stay healthy.
right, right. And this is, it's not going to be an easy physical project. And I'm pausing on this because we did lose a staff member, died out walking this line 4 years ago.
Was it a tree fall?
Nope, he had a heart attack.
Ah.
So, so the logistics plan is one. Second thing that I wanted to bring up is, I've asked for, and Director Fultz has mentioned it also, a water loss audit. That is looking at how much water are we losing every year, or how much non-revenue water, I guess is because using it for line flushing isn't a loss, but it's non-revenue water that we're just to get a sense of how much are we producing, how much is revenue compensated, because if there are significant losses of water, are we focused on that well enough, and what do we, just to get a sense of that, because it's something that we'd asked for in this committee a number of times 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Yeah. That's too much trouble. That's too much effort to do that. I think you have the data. You just don't want to put it all together, or it's,
We're working on our yearly water loss audit right now through the state. It's not an in-house, it's required. It's been a few years since we've done it, so there's some catching up to do.
Okay.
And I don't know if it'll highlight all the questions, as far as, but it will give us a good start.
I don't know either.
And I'm curious, is the basics of that, I mean, we obviously know how much we're pulling up out of wells and how much surface water we're putting into the system.
Yeah.
And then we add up how much we're billing all of our customers. And those two numbers, the difference would be non-revenue water.
Yeah.
That would be the big, but is there other, I'm sure there's more intricacies to it than that.
Well, yeah, there's water loss to leaks, there's water loss to meter inaccuracies, there's a lot of.
Right.
I think a large one is the meter inaccuracies, so.
Wow, really?
We got the Venlo meter change out project starting here in the next few weeks, and so.
Right.
And how many of them are inaccurate at this point that need replacing?
We have about 50% of our meters are end of life or 10 years or older. We did a very small meter accuracy test with I think 26 meters, and we found them to be, I think it was like 92% accurate, and the threshold is 98.5. So they're, you know, a good distance out of it. And with some of those older meters, we even found the accuracy was down to the 80s,
Mhm.
and it gets even more complicated when you get the lower flow. The accuracy drops off even more. We found some accuracy, 50%, 60% accurate when you have flows below 2 GPM. So getting the old meters swapped out should help with the loss.
And looking at new style of meters,
Yeah, that's another thing. We're switching over to
ultrasonic.
ultrasonic. Thank you. Ultrasonic
Okay.
meters opposed to positive displacement meters that more mechanical and over time will wear, where the ultrasonic should last. There's nothing mechanically that should wear over time. So when it starts to wear, they under register. They don't usually ever over register. So
Okay.
And you're leading into another agenda topic that I'd like to see covered because it's financially related. You're talking about whatever that between 92 and 98.5, that, yes, you've done a small sample, but you have a sampling there that says, hey, we're losing revenue for that.
Well, it could be the other way around. I mean, the accuracy could be.
Apparently it's not though.
it's
Right.
very
Now,
Now, the point is that it's inaccurate. That I
Yes,
agree
right.
with, but
It's
it may
inaccurate.
not be
And
just a.
It's inaccurate. We're losing revenue because of the inaccuracies. So what's the ROI on replacing meters sooner than we get grants for?
I think I hit on that a little bit.
You have,
And
but I'd like to
without
see,
doing the full test, it's hard to get exact, but
I'd like to,
Yeah,
you
we
have
see it.
some data now, you have some information on this. End of life meters and replacement ROI for those, for what, if it's the ultrasonic meters, what does it cost us to do meter replacements? How much are we losing in revenue? Because I think you can see already, there's questions about this. That to me is a topic of interest that
Are half our meters, what's your guess, half our meters end of life or
yeah,
about half?
it's about half. And then about 10 years ago is when we started switching over to Badger meters. So they're
So there are brand new meters that are approaching end of life.
Okay.
well, let's think of it as what
Yeah.
do we call it? Internet read meters. So meter readers don't have to go out in the field and read them. They can, we can gather it.
Right.
but
So
they're
some of those
still,
meters we started putting in 10 years ago are starting to reach their life.
but they're still
I see.
mechanical
They are. We haven't
function.
we haven't swapped over.
Haven't
We're
swapped
going through
over.
our current positive displacement.
To the ultrasonic.
So just as a pin in the board comment, if half our meters are out by 6.5%, 7%, that's $400,000 or $500,000 a year. So
I think-
it's real money for the district,
Right.
right?
It's,
Yeah.
I think we've,
I think
leaks are very important. We focus on leaks, but meters are, I think,
You know, we will get a
Yeah.
far broader analysis when we do the Menlo and meter change out. That's 440 meters.
yeah, 450. That's the idea. Of
Yeah.
course, they'll be concentrated in one area, but still give us about the age of those meters.
Still,
Okay.
it's concentrated in one area, but my bet is those didn't all get replaced, installed at the same time. So there's probably a different, a range of ages that you're going to be replacing. So
And as we do our general meter change outs that, we not just meter change out programs, we're gathering those to be part of the bigger sample for testing.
Great.
So how fast will it take to actually replace all the bad meters?
Oh, well.
you never get done.
Change out was 450, but we're gonna have a dedicated crew to just changing those out. But we have, I don't want to put a timeline on it, maybe a month or so to get those changed out. But, we would have to change our operational strategy. Depends how,
Yeah,
right now we're
it's
just.
a
addressing what
question
they
of
need.
but if you're losing a lot of revenue from the meters, it might be some place
Been
to.
on the order
focus
of
in on-
about shooting for 500 replacements a year. So we've got roughly 8,000 meters
Mhm.
in a 16-year time period. And the end of life period of a meter is what?
The newer ones are 20 years,
The newer ones, but the ones we have are
10 years.
10 years. So here go. A lot of our meters are always beyond end of life right now.
That's typical, but it's just a question then of balancing
Yeah.
revenue loss versus.
Right. And that's what I'd like to see it compared to
Mhm.
revenue
Exactly.
loss. See if as a board member, I would want to say, go staff up more to replace more meters or focus on more grants or get more. Because it's money.
Mhm.
What do the new meters cost?
$270.
Okay.
It's about $500 to replace.
To replace.
Labor.
Yeah, with staff time and everything.
Right. Okay.
Yep, okay.
Okay. And then in conjunction with the water loss audit, we've done, leak detection investigations. We were at every 5 years. It was down to every 3. During a previous discussion about 4 years ago, Director Fultz and I recommended every 2 years. I think that's what we're on. But we hire an outside contractor to do that. Again, my back of the envelope said, no, there's enough potential water loss there that every 3 years wasn't soon enough, do it every 2. I would ask, factor that into this water loss audit because we're paying an outside contractor for that. Industry standard from what I read was every 5 years. So put that in there because it's another financial that we're spending. Should we be spending it every 2 years is my thought, or is less frequent? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, also another question related, if you do a cost benefit analysis of the loss, cost through leak and inaccuracy versus the time it takes your own crew to put it in versus, I mean, and then in addition, the leak analysis you pay a contractor to do, what's the cost of all of that compared to how much you're losing?
Mhm.
And then I think that, to your point, would make sense on the frequency at which to look at these items
Right.
and address them.
And that's where I'm going. How often should we be doing
Yeah.
this kind of stuff? Should we be putting more effort into replacing more meters more often? The leak detection is going out and finding pipes that are leaking or going out and finding fire hydrants or
Leaking.
valves that are leaking. That the water doesn't come this way and we don't see it. It's going from them and we never see it. So that's what the leak detection is, to go find those and repair and stop. Again, to the point of trying to lose less water. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Thoughts on either what general comments or future agenda items, since that's where we are? No? Okay. Well, do we have anybody on nobody on from the public? Okay, all right, then I think we can adjourn. Okay. Thanks.
Well done, Lee.
Yes,
Sure, sir.
yeah, that was good. I thought that was good. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't read any of the stuff.
We should
I know
take
how
this.
you feel about it.
Well, I can read what you sent us already.
I'm pretty sure my notes were separate from my slides, and then you have another chance to see it again in the
So
audit
have you
committee.
done,
Exactly. I have a chance to
an
skim
analysis
through
of
those,
the
but you're talking about
losses
something
or
different than
potential
what's on
losses,
there.
because
And it is causing me to
inaccuracy, of course,
scratch
it's
my head
not
again.
a
Oh,
perfect.
I didn't have questions after I looked through that.
We were able to gather.
I didn't have questions after I read through that, but just your talking, so I thought, oh, that's right. I did want to ask about it. So
Just 26 meters.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Yeah, and if you're getting
Who knows how you pick
questions,
those 26, so
anybody,
Well, that's
Uh,
nasty
you know,
commute.
by
Very
us
dated.
there.
Public.
But it would be, I think, useful to
Yeah.
try to get a
Yeah, it's
sense
good,
of
all the way
exactly
down.
how much
I hit the one.
loss.
Luckily.
Well,
we
we
do
really
have
that.
Yeah,
Inaccuracy,
Luckily, I'm
which
on
could be
Yeah.
plus or
right on the
minus.
cabin.